Hi everyone, it's Robbie from Southern California, and I'm just out here kind of walking through. I'm going to go get that video done on ginger. This is just going to be a morning vlog. I promise I'm going to go get that done. And I'm just kind of looking around. Oh my gosh, I've been taking all this mustard off. Look at the size of the mustard, all because of this system. The other day I looked in here, that 2 system I've done. I don't know if I can lift it. Oh, I can't. And let's see if we can take a peek. I literally had thousands. Oh yeah, I don't know if you can see that. Trying to get you in there. It is absolutely packed. And look how thin they are. They're like really young ones, and they found their way in there on their own. I don't want to get my hands all dirty because I want to get some stuff done. Look at this. So many of them are young. I came in here and lifted it, and there were thousands. Let me put this back quickly, because in case there's any earthworms on the bottom, I don't want to lose them. So what they do is they go back and forth too. So they'll come out of this soil that's in the tote, and they'll go into the bucket, of course, because they want to feed in there. And then they go in and out. As far as the top bucket, some of you asked, how do I feed the top bucket? Well, there's a couple different ways you could do it. Remember that water that's coming out of there? You can just water the top. You'll feed it that way. On top of that, remember there's holes all over that bucket. Some are on the side, and it's up to you how many holes you want to put in. And some are on the bottom. They'll go up and down. So they'll move around anyways. The top bucket, I generally don't put, I don't want, anything too big. You don't want to put, even celery can get a bit big. They have a big root system. I put walking onions. I'm going to get some more in here. Definitely get some more walking onions in here. You could do a mustard or a lettuce, or you really wouldn't want to put a tomato plant in here because you'll be lifting up tomato plants and they get too big. So you think of something small, even flowers. Flowers you can put in there. And if you really don't want to grow anything in there, you could stick some silk flowers in there if you wanted to. I wouldn't do that, but you can. You could do it any way you want. You could leave nothing in there and just put the soil, but that would kind of be a waste of a wonderful plant medium to grow in. So take something small. You could grow carrots in there if you want. Fill it closer to the top. You could put radishes in there. Now I will say that soil in here is going to become so rich that you may end up with beautiful carrots growing as far as green tops and tops of radishes, and you may not end up with a lot of root because that's where the base part is storing and they won't have to store. So I would stick with onions or flowers or lettuce or mustard or something like that. I'm just looking around here and I saw this is really ready to come off. See here? The tendril on this is all brown. See? It is not getting anything else from the plant. Sounds pretty good too. I don't know when I'm going to pick it. I really should pick it before something else gets it. Last time I found out when I grew a bunch of them that the ones I left on for an extra week, they were so sweet that they probably cured. And well, I don't know, it just worked for me. So I might leave it on a few more days. That one is just starting to turn brown too. These are the little tiny sugar baby watermelons. And I'll have to go through all the others on the other side. I just came out here to get some work and listen to the ravens. The ravens, what we've got here, gee, there's a term for it, and I just went brain dead on it. I can't think of it. Oh, you're all screaming at me saying, I know what the term is. It's a weird term, but these are teenagers, and they're flying around, and they're just wreaking havoc on anything that they can find. They're going through avocado trees. They're going through fig trees. They're attacking birds, other birds and everything. So, they're just doing their thing. Like I said, they're teenagers. Look at this. Aren't these gorgeous? It's a shame that the plant here does not go all year. It's just a real annual plant. But all these are going to have a lot of seeds. Gary breaks it off and he makes a tea out of it. I haven't done too much with it. I was going to add it into my green drink, but when I did that, it got really thick like a gel. So I haven't done that again. So all in all, everything's doing good here. Okay, these are not ready. See how they're still green? They're still green in there. So this one's not ready. I'm afraid a lot of them are going to get ready quicker than I want because our weather's turning. We're getting cold at night. We get really hot during the day and then we get cold at night. I got to trim off a lot of broccoli and pan fry some broccoli today. And then what else is there? Almost done with here. I'm so excited on this. Even if I don't plant anything in there right now, I'm ready. So it doesn't matter. And I'll kind of go through and decide what I want to do. Some of you have asked, what are you going to do with the totes that you're going to keep all winter? Well, throw things in there during the winter if you can. If you can't, you can't. Don't do anything. Don't let it dry out completely, but if you do, it won't matter. In the spring, you'll have it ready to go. You'll throw in whatever you want, some leaves, kitchen scraps, and whatever, and then you'll start going right away. This one really should be tossed or cut up. It's really old. This is one of my oldest ones, probably about 5 years old, and the reason it's breaking is because I let it sit out here empty. I'm going to see if I can get another year out of it anyways. I might wrap it with some duct tape, but you know, the sides are still good, and that was the side facing the sun, and you can't leave them empty. When you leave them with soil, these are old too. See, I had soil in all these. They were fine because there's soil that keeps the plastic soft. So I'll have to make sure I don't do that. I like this one. This one's like, oh, it's sitting here. It's empty. So you don't want to really leave too many in the hot sun empty. Isn't this cool? The only squash I planted was that one and that one. And then these are coming up from the compost, but this is still what I'm waiting for. It's probably too late. I'm going to take this leaf. We have a little, you know what, on there. See, and so I'm just going to take that out. It's probably too late to get really any cucumbers on there, but we'll see. I've got some more cucumbers down there. I'll see if they make it there too. No, I just kind of reevaluated some stuff, good and bad. Ooh, we got to get this off and get this fried. I'm making fried chicken. Look at this. Don't want to wait too long, or they go from purple to yellow, and when they're yellow, they're bitter to eat. You don't want to eat them. Lettuce. And I knew this. I've told you all. I usually leave the lettuce and then I crumble it up. Well, I left it. There's not one lettuce seed on here. There has been almost no lettuce seeds left. This is the first time I've ever seen this happen, and I know what it is. I mean, the birds are starving. There has been no weeds growing because we're not getting any rain, so there's no wild weeds growing and wild plant growth. So they're coming in here constantly, and they have picked. You think, you know, every seed, you think there's something. I'm hoping there's a few. But normally I do this and I see quite a few. Watch. I can't do it and have the camera. Let me see if you can see this. See, there's one seed might be there. Let's walk over here with the one seed. Actually, I'll just drop it in here. If it comes up, it comes up. Normally, I'll grab a handful of seeds, dried out seeds. I leave them. I let the birds eat what they want. Grab a handful, crush it, and you can see a couple dozen seeds left because there's hundreds. They have really picked it clean. They're all over here by the dozens and dozens. So I have to be careful on the lettuce. So I'm going to protect my lettuce, and I'm going to get some of them after I use it. I'm going to cover it with tulle, and then I'm going to let some of them go to seed. I'm going to have to let the bees do their thing, and then I'm going to have to uncover it. And once it's ready, then I will cover it again and let my seeds ripen the way they're supposed to, get mature, and collect some seeds. But I love my lettuce because I bought some lettuce a couple years ago, quite a few, maybe 3 years ago now. I let it go to seed, and these grow the best. It looks skimpy, but I'll tell you something. I had a big salad off of that yesterday. Now this one is interesting. See how thick and the leaf is a different color? Same lettuce. See that? But with this one, it's bluish because I know this one's thinking about going to seed. It changes color when it's getting ready to go to seed. So I'll keep an eye on that one. And as soon as it goes to, and throws a flower, I may cover it. As soon as I see the seeds have been all pollinated, it'll still be a flower. I'll just cover it with tulle and I'll collect the seeds. I only need one. I mean, I'd like to have it off of a couple different plants. Oh, there's a strawberry there. But that's the thing, is normally I have more lettuce than I know what to do with. Literally, no joke. And this time I don't. So that's it. So I am going to go in. Gary's running some errands, and I'm going to go in and I am going to get that ginger one up once and for all. You know, we can, no, I was going to walk over there. We don't need to. I'm going to finish that one up because I've got so many things that going on. Still want to finish getting some of the totes done. I think I have one more here to finish. And basically I've taken on more than I can chew, but But let's go over here. This is like my favorite place to sit. Isn't that pretty? Here's the thing. As long as I pace myself, and I know that I'm in no hurry, then it doesn't matter. This is basically done. I mean, you know, the roselle red, the red roselle is coming out when it's done. All those tomatoes are coming out. That's a joke. That's done. There's an asparagus plant in there. I'm going to leave that and have walking onions in there. I've got pepinos growing over there. I leave that. It's with the peppers. That's permanent. I don't have to change anything next year. And that's about it. I do want to collect a lot of walking onions and get more walking onions growing. So I'm going to use that in a lot of my 2-system. I would like to put more of the 2-system buckets that I've got there going. The one I just did the video on, because it works so fantastic. But I think I'm going to get some buckets that are smaller. I believe those are 2-gallon ones. And I think you can get them as 1-gallon ones. And then they can fit better in any tote, any place. Look at the hummingbirds. I don't know if you can see them, but I know they're fighting. They're not doing anything good. So that's about it. I'm going to set up some more 2-system, because when you have a 2-system, that bucket where the kitchen scraps are going on the bottom bucket, I know it's hard to tell. And I should have done a blue one on the bottom and a yellow one so you could see it. This is a constant food source. That's why this is so big. And I ripped off so many big leaves yesterday. And look at the leaves there, that you don't have to do anything but water the top bucket. The water goes into the green bucket, and then it just goes on the bottom of the red tote, and then everybody feeds off of it. Everybody's happy. So that's about it. So I'm going to set up a few more of those. You can use flower pots. You can use food containers. I've done it with little food containers. And let me tell you something. If you don't add in any more kitchen scraps, it's amazing. And you go back in a couple months, let's say you forgot about it and you lift it, a lot of times that bottom bucket is completely empty. It doesn't even turn into soil. I've actually opened it up and it was empty. It went back into the soil. The earthworms finished it and everything was gone. Now the earthworms were living in the tote, but that bucket on the bottom, that bottom bucket here, can become completely empty. Everything draws back in. So I want to make sure I periodically take some leaves and throw some stuff in there, and kitchen scraps. Isn't that gorgeous? I'm so excited to have another beautiful black cobra going. Gary loves them. They are so hot. See, they're black and then they turn red. All right, I talked enough. I wanted to keep this 5 minutes, and of course it is not. So I am going to go in. I'm going to go finish that once and for all. And a few of you have asked, did you ever do anything with that cart I picked up at Circuit City? No. See, there's another 2-system one I built. I didn't use that one out of food containers. I'm not sure yet what I'm going to do with it. I was going to plant lettuce in there, put a tote in there, and then when it got too hot, I could wheel it off into the shade. But no hurry. Main thing is this is set up. This will be my next project during the winter. I'm going to have a 2-system in there, set up a little bit differently, but it's very similar to what you see. And that is basically it. As far as everything else, the totes are pretty much all lined up where I want. I'll have all winter to get them set up, and then come spring, I could just throw seeds out there, either seeds I collected myself, or I can just, you know, plant something else that I've started in the house, be it whether it's been planted in tulle or planted in paper cups, whatever way I want, and then decide which ones are carrots and which ones are, if I'm going to plant carrots, and well, Gary plants carrots, or if I'm going to plant radishes or whatever I want, or squash. I've got to get more squash. Definitely got to get more squash. And I got to finish here. This particular one, everything you see, which has got a lot of food in it, I didn't do a thing. I didn't plant anything. The whole length that you're looking at here, I did 0. Except for the new totes I started to set up, which you can see here. And then the lettuce, I threw some lettuce seeds in that top one that I covered in tulle that came up. Just lettuce I found here. So we'll see what happens. Anyways, I talk too much. I'm getting off. I'm going now back in. I'm going to get that ginger video done, and then I can go on with other things, including hummingbirds too. Remember, my hummingbirds are my pollinators. With that, have a wonderful day, and don't forget to eat what you grow. Bye-bye. I've got to get that ginger one done.